Hello guys and welcome once more to Lux Coded, where we provide you with bit information about how to learn Python. I'm learning Python myself, so if you find any mistakes or a better way to do something, please let me know in the comments below. That way we can fix it and keep improving like a good community that we are. Alright, so let's jump right into it, and we're gonna be talking about variable assignment. And to perform a correct variable assignment, we need to follow some rules. And these rules are: the variable names cannot start with a number. There cannot be spaces in the names. We can use underscore instead of spaces. And we cannot use the following symbols. So if I'm not mistaken, most of the symbols here, all the symbols are not to be used except for the underscore. We can replace the spaces using the underscore. So we need to avoid built-in functions, and I'm going to explain you real quick before continuing with the information about variables, what a built-in functions is. So, as you may have known, for example, if in Python there's multiple built-in functions that you cannot use as a variable name. For example, let's say if you do list, you're going to see that list is highlighted red, while if I do dog is gonna be black. Why? Because list, we have to avoid the functions, the built-in functions. So list is a built-in function, while dog is not. So there's an extensive quantity of built-in functions in Python that I'm gonna put on the description of the video, so you guys can have a look at it and have an idea. You don't have to learn it, since most of the coding editors will highlight most of all of the built-in functions of Python. All right, so let's continue with this. So it is considered best practice to use lowercase in Python. I mean, there's different types of casing: lower casing, camel casing, upper camel casing, lower camel casing, snake casing, which is using lowercase and underscores. So even though it's a best practice to use lowercase in Python, it's up to personal preference. Another thing you have to take in consideration is when you use uppercase, a good practice is to use uppercase only for global assignment variables and constants, variables that are not gonna change. So that being said, let's jump into the next topic, which is Python uses dynamic typing. And dynamic typing means that you can reassign a variable with a different data type. As to most of the other languages, they use the static typing, which you will not be able to do that. So what does it mean to have dynamic typing? So dynamic typing would be, let's use the variable named dog, and let's name our dog Rex. Perfect. So if we call dog, then we're gonna get Rex. But if we reassign dog to be 1 and we call dog again, we get 1, and there was no issue with that. Why? Because Python is a dynamic typing program, which means you can reassign the values of your variable to any data type without any issues. Alright, so let's jump into the pros and cons of being a dynamic typing language. So the pros are it's easier to work with, because you don't have to assign the data type to the variable as well. It is faster to develop your programs or whatever you're working on, which means you will have more productivity, and it has better readability. The cons is you can find unexpected data type bugs on your code, which means maybe you pass in the wrong data type into a function that you were working on, and that's gonna give you a bug or an error, and then you will have to go back and fix that error. And to do that, we will need to use the type function to check the data type of a variable. All right. So now let's explore these concepts a little bit of how variables work. So we already went to dog and we explained how dog works. And let's jump into a equals to 5. And then when we call a, then we have 5. That's perfect. However, you can do, you can reference the same variable to perform operations. Like for example, if you do a equals a plus a, then that should be the same thing as, let me put in a comment, a equals to 5 plus 5, right? So if we call a, we should get 10, and that makes complete sense. So now we have a is 10. So if we do a equals a plus a plus a, that should give us 20. Because, okay, so I want you to pay close attention to this. Okay, so let's explain this how it happens. So we first assign the value to 5, right? And then we check for the value of a, which is 5. That's perfect. Then we use a, and we want to reassign a. So to reassign a, we use the equal operator, and then a, which is a value of 5, plus a, which is a value of 5, equals 10. So please make sure that you use the equal operator. One equal operator means that you are assigning a variable name to a value. For example, in this case, it's an operation, a sum operation. All right. So now that we did this operation, 5 plus 5 equals a is going to be 10, right? So if we try the same thing again, then we're trying to reassign the value again, but now a is not 5, it's 10 because we already reassigned this value. So now 10 goes here. Let me do this to explain this to you a little bit easier. So in this case, what am I doing? A equals 10 plus 10. And that's gonna give you a equals to 20. So that's pretty much the basics of assigning variables. And I want to emphasize that please make sure that you do not use the built-in functions of Python, because you're gonna run into some issues later on. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video, if you like the video, if it's helpful. If you find any mistakes throughout my tutorial, please let me know so I can learn and fix those mistakes in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.